I want to go to Hannah Hoover because, Hannah, you're in the stadium. I want to know about the environment tonight because that was unique to Oklahoma. That kind of environment isn't every Saturday. And I know, you know, to see that, what was the atmosphere like inside Memorial Stadium?
Brian, this place is still rocking. No one has left, to answer your question. The entire field is absolutely full of people, and the DJs next to us, everyone is rocking. This is unlike anything I've seen here, obviously, in my time in Oklahoma. Having everyone storm the field, all the excitement. Like you said, Brian, at the beginning of the show, no one thought this was going to happen, and they just totally, the Sooners put everyone to shame with those comments, and they silenced them. So it was so much fun to see players like Danny Stutzman on the big screen just celebrating. He had a huge game tonight, and the emotions were so high. I think Brent Venables was very special to listen to. I saw him on the sideline at the beginning of the game. He was so electric and also very calm, I might add. At the end of the game, those emotions were high, and it's a huge breath of fresh air for the Sooners, and the Sooner fans, well, they're going to be partying for quite some time tonight.
About Brent, because we've talked about it on our show, and it's been everywhere. Obviously, this is going to calm everything down, but I think from my perspective, what Brent was able to do and keep this team together, Hannah, how big was this not only for him, but certainly for the University of Oklahoma, and just to stabilize everything, calm down everybody, we're going to be just fine. Obviously an enormous win tonight.
Oh, it was an enormous win. It really was a must win, obviously for the bowl game, but speaking of Brent Venables, it really puts him at ease, I think, in some ways, because you solidified a bowl game, you have a huge hometown crowd celebrating, and all those naysayers, if you will, the people who counted them out, you know, now there's not much to say when you beat a number 7 Alabama Crimson Tide. That's not an easy task. Hasn't happened right here at Memorial since 2002. That's over 20 years. So I think at the end of this game, my jaw dropped. I knew it was going to happen. We all did, because we saw the score throughout the game, but no one expected this. And I think Brent Venables, man, what a big break for him. I know they've been working tirelessly, and that's what I meant by when I saw him at the beginning of the game. I mean, there's a lot of sacrifice, I think, that comes with this job, obviously, and seeing the post-game interview, hearing the post-game interview, what a breath of fresh air for this Sooner staff. Brent Venables at the top of the list.
There's no question about it. We'll get back out to you here in just a little bit. I should say, you know, you mentioned Brent Venables and sort of the redemption for Brent tonight. I also see it for Jackson Arnold as well. You know, the quarterback who was replaced in the Tennessee game. Here comes Michael Hawkins. Michael Hawkins is out after the South Carolina troubles in the first half. And then Jackson Arnold, there's so many questions around Jackson Arnold. So it's not just Brent, it's Jackson Arnold, the way he played, the way he ran the football. And so we've been talking about Brent Venables. Let's go to that sound right after the game where Brent is on the field. He's talking to Holly Rowe as everybody around him. This is one of the, I think, will be an iconic moment, certainly of his tenure thus far. But it's just, the storming of the field is something you don't happen in Norman all the time. So here's the head coach of the Sooners, Brent Venables.
Oh, they were absolutely amazing. I told them winning never negotiates. You know, we finally did the things that winning requires, and all three phases, how well they complemented each other. These guys, man, they're amazing. Their guts and their toughness, and they punched first, they punched back, and tonight we finally punched last.
Let's go back to Hannah Hoover back out at the stadium. Hannah, what's the vibe there now?
Well, it's still rocking. As I reported earlier, nothing has changed. The field still has a ton of people on it. And Brian and I talked about this morning in our pregame show about that Sooner magic. Well, there was a heavy dose of Sooner magic tonight. Kip Lewis, he got another pick 6. We saw it in the Auburn game, and he ran it back again tonight, and it was magical, to say the least. Kip Lewis there putting the Sooner offense in position, as well as Eli Bowen earlier in the game with his interception. But I do want to take a moment to talk about Jackson Arnold, because Brian, you mentioned it earlier in the show. he made a case for himself tonight. I think that's what we saw. It's been a roller coaster of a season for the young quarterback, but it's impressive what they did tonight. The run game duo between him and Xavier Robinson, the freshman, I was impressed by that. Over 100 yards apiece for both of them. That was what made the difference for this Sooner offense. But we do have to highlight that Jackson Arnold didn't throw over 70 yards in this game. If you were to tell me before this game that they wouldn't have over 70 yards through the air, I would say there's no way that they beat Alabama. But that described how good this Sooner defense was between Danny Stutzman and Billy Bowman Jr. They were able to put their offense in position, and the offense capitalized on those moments when it mattered most. Not every moment, but man, it was a good day to be an Oklahoma Sooner.
No question about that. So here's what I want you to do, Hannah. I want you to we're going to go to Dakota Wapakichi here in a second, but I want to see the field here. I want to see the field here in a second. As we go to Dakota, we'll let you guys get set up. So it's a huge night in Norman, Oklahoma, and again, a night that OU fans will remember for a long, long time. I want to go live outside, and we'll get her set up here. Hannah Hoover's there because I want to get her perspective, because the Oklahoma defense, I think, Chantel, we've talked a lot about the OU offense and the running game and the head coach and what Oklahoma did offensively. But defensively, Hannah, it was turnovers, and too many times this year it's been OU turning the football over. But tonight, it was the Sooners' takeaways, and that was the difference in the football game.
That's right. The Sooners defense, they shined tonight. It was Kip Lewis with that pick six, the Sooner magic that we all know and love. And we were glad. I know the Sooner fans were glad to see it tonight. And Eli Bowen really got things going with that first interception, setting up the offense to score. And we would be remiss to not talk about Jackson Arnold and his rushing yards tonight, as well as Xavier Robinson. So between those two, it was an exciting night. I will say, Brian, to talk about the next game, Alabama beat LSU in Baton Rouge at Death Valley. So does that tell you that maybe OU can win? Maybe if they play like this, I think it gives us a lot of hope. A lot of Sooner fans hope that moving forward, maybe there's another win in the win column for Oklahoma.
About it the whole time, and I think part of the reason that we're so elated about it is just because nobody saw it coming. The way that this football team has played for most of the year, they had nothing offensively, and no one's picking them to win. Most people are picking them to lose by far more than 2 touchdowns. The Vegas line was about a 2-touchdown underdog for Oklahoma, which is the biggest underdog they've been at home since 1998, and that's why it's historic, because just nobody saw this coming. I want to take you right back out to Memorial Stadium one more time with Hannah Hoover as we wrap this up. What a night at Memorial Stadium, and I've been saying it, a night people are going to remember for a long time, and certainly you being there and being a part of it. Very cool.
Oh, very cool. A redemption game for Brent Venables, Jackson Arnold, and this Sooner team. They were overdue for a redemption game, and I think that this boosted the Sooner fans' morale. It boosted this team, and I'm looking forward to see what they do next week against LSU. What a game. This one was a fun one. Sabrina, back over to you.